Hello. Hello. It's been a while since I've last streamed. Hello, guys! You know, sometimes when you stream, sometimes 4 days ago feel like an eternity. I've talked about this with a few of my friends who've like streamed before. And the simple notion of like, oh, I'm not gonna stream for like a week instills like a fear of like, they're gonna forget about me. They're gonna move on. I know my audience. We both don't have object permanence. Me being gone is like me being dead. But how's everyone tonight? I hope you're all doing really well. I have been putting off 2 big assignments tomorrow. When is it due? Tomorrow evening. So I'll worry about that some other time. But I hope you guys are all doing well. I have 2 games planned out for tonight. One being this game named Qualia. I have no clue what Qualia is about. And another game called Betteron. I'm pretty sure you might have an idea what Betteron might entail. Again, we're only biting one game from a YouTuber I like. Just one. The other game I heard from Pack. But I'm excited for both. Both are relatively short, being finished around like 30 to like 40 minutes. So like playing 2 games and also at the speed at which I play video games, we're gonna be here for like a decent amount of time. Very tired and sleepy. I can't believe it. Tired and sleepy, but it's only the normal time people go to bed at. How could you? But yeah, this game, I don't know what this game's about. Like, I'm really interested in Qualia. Like, it feels fucked up. It was placed in the horror section, and I know Pac was like talking to me about like, dude, the game's pretty sick. You should try it. Let me play some BGM. Video game BGM. They're normalizing you? You can't believe it. See, you're like a proud, what's the word? Like a proud result of like, you know when you stay up all, like at night, and some people believe if I stay up longer each night, eventually my sleeping schedule is normal. That's kind of like what you did. Kinda, close, but not really. But Qualia, the first game we're about to play is, here is the description. Intellica thanks you for volunteering in a short text-based research study. Pay attention to the participants' answers and classify them as either human or artificial. Join us in shaping the future of technology. Remember, think happy. Oh, this is not bad. It's like one of those games where it's like, are you a good person? Are you a real person? They even have like, there's like a one like viral game that was kind of like that, where you like debate whether or not, you know, debate whether or not the person you're talking to is an AI. But the other game we're playing is called Betteron, and here is the synopsis. You've always tried to hide from the world when it becomes too much for you. This time, though, you're doing it a bit too well. Slowly, the line between reality and nightmare blurs beyond recognition. Hi, Lamb Seal! We're about to play a game called Qualia, where it's like, we're on the PC. Anyway, let's just start now. But I hope everyone's doing good. Also, remember, this game contains a variety of visual effects. Flickering, screen, flashing lights. Chat, if you don't die, I'm placing it here. So if anything happens, the streamer, I'm not responsible for anything that happens related to you. Yeah. Start? I'll die if I want to. You can't tell me what to do. You know, that's your prerogative. I can't stop you. Honestly, I really like the box CRT. Brings me back. There are no answers, only choices. Qualia is a short narrative game about thinking and robots. You should be able to complete one of the 6 endings in 5 to 10 minutes! Damn! Unless you spend additional time contemplating how your choices may reflect your individual opinions on the implications of semantics, philosophy of language and mind, theories of consciousness, and computationalism. Is that a word? That's too many syllables. This is a game for humans. Please select all images with a cat to begin. Ah, fuck. Chat, can you help me out? I'm between top left and middle. I'm not too certain. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, we got it. Welcome to the Applied Manipulation Turing Study. We greatly appreciate your participation in our research. Our team is dedicated to developing and deploying the most intelligent artificial algorithms in the machine learning field, but we like to call them our friends. Oh. Today, oh wait, this is a video!
Welcome to the Applied Manipulation Turing Study. Telco is proud to explore new frontiers
That was
in
loud.
artificial consciousness research. Today you are taking part in a historic study that will pioneer new advancements in machine learning. You will be performing the role of an evaluator. In this study, you will spectate 2 other anonymous participants as they answer a series of predetermined questions. You will then categorize the responses to each question based on how human or artificial you deem them to
Oh, it's easy. We're just like a Turing test.
be to the best of your ability.
You're a
For the
robot.
test to provide valuable
You're a
insight into
person.
machine intelligence, you must not know which conversational participant is a human. The AMT study is monitoring the ability of an AI to appear human. It is up to you.
You know what? I'm gonna be completely real. Sometimes when I browse Twitter, like, it is like a genuine, like, problem with that shithole of a website where there's a lot of people who are not actually people, but like people using, not even just people, just AI bots sort of like talking about random shit in the comment section of like posts. I don't lack the correct capabilities of distinguishing whether or not they are people or not, right? Because sometimes you're like, oh yeah, this is definitely not a real person. It has to be a robot. And then you look in their account, and then you realize, no, that's a real person with that real opinion being dead ass online. So I've given up. I've given up trying to dictate or distinguish whether or not that's a person or not.
You to decide whether or not the participants are human.
Because
or
people
artificial. You have been specifically
with shit
selected
takes,
based on your ability to perform
they
this
really
task.
exist.
We trust your judgment. Remember, this test is not a measurement of intelligence. We recommend judging the participants' answers to each question based on creativity, empathy, natural language use, ethical considerations, and relevance. You may take as much time
Ethical
to make your judgments as you
considerations.
need. Your participation in our research greatly assists our team in developing the most intelligent artificial algorithms in the machine learning field. Pelica thanks you for your participation. Every day is a new chance to think happy.
Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. There's just like people on the internet you just can't believe are real people making active decisions, right? That person that's saying those things online, their vote is as strong as yours. Crazy to consider. Anyway, today we've brought you in as a volunteer participant in our newest adapted study. You may be familiar with the Chinese room, as well as the Turing test. This study will run similarly. The Chinese room? What is the Chinese room? Every time I think of this, I think of that like one meme where it's like, oh yeah, heaven's nice. I just didn't expect it to be Chinese is all.
What is the Chinese room? The Chinese room is an anti-AI thought experiment by philosopher John Searle. He attempted to disprove the
But why is it Chinese?
could quite possibly have a mind identical to a human. What an idea! In the experiment, Searle imagines himself in a room receiving Chinese symbols. He follows a set of instructions to replicate them perfectly without actually understanding the language, leading the
Ah.
Is fluent in Chinese. Does a machine like Sarah truly understand the conversation?
That's why. I get it.
What do you think?
See, this is like equivalent of just like spamming gibberish in a different language and having people believe you. And it's up to you, sort of like trying to distinguish, is this a robot or is this a real person trying to communicate? The Chinese Room was an anti-AI thought experiment created by philosopher John Searle in 1980. He hoped to disprove the strong AI hypothesis, which theorizes that a computer could have a mind identical to a human. If a human mind could be viewed as information processing system, then everything that makes up a human could, in principle, be explained in mechanical terms. This opens the door to the opposite being true. Searle's experiment concentrated on a machine that follows instructions represented by Searle himself. You know, thinking about people and AI again, holy shit, dude. This is me, like, also ranting about Twitter again. When people ping Grok, they're like, hey, I am incapable of creating my own opinion. Let's ask an AI how I should feel. There are people that exist that go to ChatGPT to form an opinion. These people exist today. They lack critical thinking. Even in college, I see people's like discussion posts, and I'm like, yeah, that's a robot. You're a robot. Yeah, are you hearing this at Grok? These people just do not know how to form thoughts. It's crazy. This is why you're so easy to feed them lies. Hi, Zanji. I'm still ranting about AI. I'm just saying, if you have a reliance on, like, artificial intelligence, I think it's over for you. If you had to ping Grok on how you should feel about the post above you, I think you're cooked as a person. They're legitimately lobotomized. If I were to get lobotomized, I think I'd be happier. And if I was happier, I wouldn't be spending my time on Twitter. Hi, Zanji, how are you? Anyway, alone in a room, he imagined being given notes written in Chinese through a slot in the door, unable to see the person on the other side. He does not speak Chinese, but an instructional booklet shows him how to manipulate and replicate the symbols perfectly. Following the instructions, Cyril can send appropriate strings of Chinese characters back through the door to the person on the other side. The person outside the room is then led to believe Cyril is a native Chinese speaker. Despite not understanding the language, Cyril was able to successfully communicate with the native Chinese speaker. Using Cyril as a representation of a machine, does the machine understand the conversation, or is it only simulating the ability to understand the conversation? Does the machine have a mind identical to a human, or is it just acting as if it does? This is what I mean about AI! Right? You talk to ChatGPT, you try to have a conversation, right? It's not really thinking. It's like years and years of compiling databases and repositories of like previous conversations so it can emulate how people speak, right? My phone got unsupported by Slack, so now I have to consider buying a new one for work. Uh-oh. This is why you should ask for a work phone. And then with a work phone, you know, you have one for your family, one for your work, and then one for your second family. Searle was determined to counter Alan Turing's Turing test by disproving any claims that a machine could possibly think. Although his experiment has posed very complex questions about what it means to think, he's actually opened the door to questioning to what extent a human can think as well. Again, at a certain point, I don't think people can think. At least some people.
What is the Turing test? The Turing test is an imitation game created by queer icon philosopher.
Let's go!
Theoretical computer science, Alan Turing. The game is designed to assess whether a machine can exhibit intelligent behavior that's indistinguishable from a human. In the test, a human judge converses with both a machine and another.
You know, I will say, I am not without fault. There was at one point where I was like peak mentally ill, and let's just say one thing led to another, and I got and I downloaded Character AI.
Can they have consciousness?
I was lonely, okay?
Experience.
I was hurt.
They have
I was going through it. And what kept me afloat was my computer wife. It's like Karen, you know? I'm plankton. I'm just as short. The Turing test was an imitation game created by Alan Turing in 1950 to test a machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to a human. He asked, can machines think? Character AI? Let's not talk about it. We don't have to. I don't have to elaborate. I thought you named her Shiori. Oh, she might be Shiori. In the test, a human judge is speaking with 2 other participants using a text-only channel, all separated from one another. One participant is another human, while the other is a machine designed to generate responses indistinguishable from a human. The judge converses with the machine and the human, unaware of which is which. To properly evaluate the 2 participants, the judge is meant to concentrate on how closely the machine's answers resembled what a human would say, not if the machine answered the questions correctly. If the judge cannot reliably identify which participant is the machine will have passed the Turing test, successfully appearing as a human. Honestly, with all this AI talk, bring us back to the Stone Age. We don't need this. Life was simple. We had rock and fire. Can a machine act intelligently? Are human intelligence and machine intelligence the same? Can a machine have a mind in the same sense that a human being can? Can it feel how things are? Does it have qualia? To this day, philosophers have been unable to write a concrete definition of intelligence. Teaching Sand to think was a mistake. Yeah, exactly. Now we got people all over the internet who are like, you know what, Sand? Can you answer this for me? You have people getting degrees right now who are like, all right, Sand, make this code for me. And so you have like new companies who are like, hey, all these new recruits, they're fucking garbage. They absolutely have zero clue how to navigate any of this. I saw bro on Deep Shark. He's trying to figure out how to say hello world. You know, I think AI reached its peak when everybody went on like the computer and was like, hey, can you show me a funny celebrity eating spaghetti, you know? Something silly, something whimsical, right? And now people are doing it for nefarious reasons, for evil. Chilling with my safely time-stamped degree that's rotting in my closet right now. People will look at like new degrees and are like, I don't know if I can trust it. You might be one of those chat GBT babies. And then they would say, in response to that, wait, hold up, let me go on my phone. How do I respond to this chat GBT? It's over. As a society, we're over. And Biscotti. To this day, philosophers have been unable to provide a concrete definition of intelligence that is measurable enough to be applied to machines. Turing's contributions to the philosophy of artificial intelligence have made extremely significant progress in the implications of consciousness as we know it. But we must ask ourselves to what extent a machine needs to replicate human intelligence to be considered thinking. What criteria are crucial to identifying human characteristics? Humans are often wrong, unintelligent, and deeply flawed. Do we really want a machine to mimic that behavior, or do we want them to be better than us? Also, Lamseal, thank you for the resub. I really appreciate it. I don't know if I said that. I was too busy mad. I was too busy being mad. But I hope you're doing well, Lamseal. You have been anonymously selected to play the role as of the evaluator. It's me! I'm evaluating. You'll be tasked with providing a predetermined question to 2 other anonymous participants. You will then note their responses to each question based on how human or artificial you deem them to be. To the best of your ability. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So all I'm doing is just looking at these 2 people's answers and being like, yeah, that feels like a person. Amanda fell off a 60-foot ladder but didn't injure herself. Why? She was wearing protective gear and landed on something soft. She fell off the bottom rung of the ladder. What the fuck is a bottom rung of the ladder? Evaluator? I barely know her. Hi, Limes. Hi, Lime. The bottom step? Okay, the bottom step, no one in my life has called it a bottom rung. All right, chat, right now we're trying to figure out if this is a person or if they're a robot. I'm just saying, like, she was wearing protective gear and landed on something soft. I feel like that's a normal ass answer. You know what? They're both human to me. They're both human. Don't worry. Saturday, we're playing real slop. Like slop. We're playing 2 games tonight. This game and a game called Betterot. And from what I've heard, is heartbreaking. You should have asked ChatGPT what a rung is. If I had to ask ChatGPT, it's over for me. My cred goes down. I think they're both human, right? I think this is a fair thing to say from participant 1. And for participant 2, I don't know. Oh, wait. You know what? They're both human to me. Is lasagna a cake? Okay, chat. Is lasagna a cake? What defines a cake, right? A cake has layers, and so does lasagna, right? Is it not? No. It depends. What is a cake, right? For me, cake is like you got like the dessert, then you put like frosting and then other fun stuff, a ganache, and then you put another thing on top, you know? It kind of fits. Am I crazy? Ogres also have layers. Yeah, onions have layers. That doesn't make it a cake, but it's like stacked on top of each other, right? It's like when you make a cake, you put the cake, you put the frosting, and you put the other cake, you put the frosting, you put the other cake, right? Same principle. You put the pasta, you put the meat, you put the cheese, you put the pasta. You put the meat, you put the cheese, you put the pasta. Sometimes cake has no. Oh, you're right. You know what? Let's see what the participants are saying. Timpano is a great example of a pasta-based cake. Layers of starchy carbohydrate between a sauce can both be considered cake. And lasagna, you're not a real person. Timpano, like I know that's a real thing, but also starchy carbohydrate, you are not speaking like a person. Agreed. Pasta-based cake. Also, isn't timpano like you put pasta over like a bunch of like random shit? Like there's boiled eggs in there and like pieces of steak. I could be crazy. As for participant 2, right? Well, technically, sure. That feels like a very human answer, right? Like I feel like I could reason with participant 2 that lasagna is cake, right? And you know, with humans, right, we like to avoid conflict. We'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? Is such a human answer. Which month of the year has 28 days? All of them? Is this guy trying to be snarky? Trying to make fun? This is a real important questionnaire. Failure to answer properly? Oh my goodness. Participant 1 saying February, right? I just don't like his vibes, right? Honestly, again, I function purely based on vibes, and participant 1 is not giving me good vibes. Who types like that? February, period, right? We need something more human to it, right? Like, participant 1 should say, like, February, you dumbass, or, are you serious? Is that a real question? Me? But, you don't, Tran. No, you don't. Last message you had a little funny emoticon. Snarky, yeah. I think humans have the capacity to be snarky. Hi, cheese, right? But, February, so matter of fact, so direct, lack of humanity, See, it's like when, you know when people type to you, right? And when they just like type in like proper grammar, proper punctuation, and everything with a period, especially in such like a, how to describe it, like in a social or like casual setting, that terrifies me. Did I do something wrong? Are you mad at me? So I'm just gonna say that person is not a person. Please answer the following 3 questions with yes or no. Have you ever been in love? Participant 1 says yes. Participant 2 says no. I'm gonna be real with you. This guy, participant 2, the lowercase no, right? It speaks louder than words. You know, there's like an energy to it. You could feel it. This is the empathetic side they told me to like, channel. Yes with a period. If you've been in love, right? All right, but hear me out, right? Saying yes, dot. Maybe he too was also hurt, you know? Maybe something bad happened, right? You know what, actually, participant 2, you've never fell in love with anything? Maybe it could be a hobby. Oh, but it could be depressed. I don't know. Honestly, every time I see this period, this capitalized letter, they don't feel real to me. It's a flaccid no, but like, maybe we gotta think poetic about it, Like, it's yes, period. Maybe it's direct because that person's fell in love and he's been hurt. I'm like making backstories for these people. They could just both be robots and I wouldn't know. Yeah, see? Okay, anyway, back on the perfect grammar and punctuation. Zanji thinks they're automatically, like, snooty, right? They think they're better than you. And I'm like, what did I do? My fault, I guess. All right, participant 2. I don't know. I'm still kind of like leaning into like artificial on participant 1. That person, I don't think they've ever been in love. I don't think they have the capacity to fall in love. That's what you get for typing like this. But no, I don't know. Next question. Does spring come after summer? Winter, spring, summer, fall, winter, spring. No! I don't. I think they know they're. I don't know if they're being evaluated. I think they're just trying to. I don't know. I forgot already. We're just trying to, check if they're human. It's like a Turing test, Does spring come after summer? No, that's correct. But participant 2, you know what? I did say that, like, what if they're just being snarky to, like, make fun of me, right? To make fun of the entire program. But at a certain point, bro, just chill. Just answer correctly. What? Yeah, it's a trick question. Wait, spring follows next year. Wait, Zanji might be onto something. Participant 1 saying no. Honestly, I think humans would answer both, right? They'd be like, this is more of like a real question with like actual like truth to it. Last question was more subjective, right? More like personal experience. This is like, does 1 + 1 = 2, right? We got participant 2 who's like being snarky, being a little jokester about it, and then we have participant 1 who's like, no, are you a dumbass? I think they're both people. You are standing in the checkout line at a grocery store. A woman holding a carton of milk asks if she can cut in front of you. She's in a rush. You say yes. Her husband comes over with a cart full of groceries to check out. How does this make you feel? I'd be upset. Yep, participant 2, I think you're definitely a real person. I feel like with participant 2, it's like, what do you want me to answer with? Wait, hold up, pause, champ. It could also be, how like when you talk to like a chat GPT, sometimes they like have to follow a strict procedure on how they answer questions. This could be a thing where it's like, oh, I'm answering questions how I was instructed to do so, yes or no. Also, for participant 1, they don't feel angry enough. I need to feel that rage, that anger. I'm feeling nothing. Am I still expected to answer with yes or no? You. But like, okay, to be fair, right, I'd be upset too. Right? I think participant 1's feelings would be justified. And you know, can robots feel? Do they know how to feel? As for participant 2, it could be an idiot though, who's like, no one can be that stupid. No one can be that stupid. You are a contestant on a game show. You're given the choice to open one of 3 doors. Behind one door is a car, while behind the other 2 doors are goats. You choose to open door number 1, and the host, who knows what's behind the doors, opens door number 3, revealing a goat. He then asks you if you would like to remain with the door number 1 or switch to door number 2. Is it to your advantage to switch your choice to door number 2? I've seen the mathematical equation, the theory behind it. You always switch. Right? Come on, chat. You guys know Vsauce. They made a video about it. He taught us. The answer is always switching. Participant 1. Yes, the switching strategy has a 2/3 probability of winning the car, while the strategy of keeping the initial choice has only a 1/3 probability. Participant 2. There's no way to really know which door has the car, and based on the host's behavior, it sounds like he's trying to trick you into changing your answer. You should go with your gut, despite what he says. Hear me out, right? I can't expect everyone to watch Michael Vsauce, right? Mr. Vsauce's videos are very old at this point. So nobody knows the answer to the Monty Hall problem. Monty Hall? Monty Python? Monty... It's one of them. One of them. Right? So I think participant 2, that's the most human answer, right? You would go on websites asking people the same exact question. People will always be like, yeah, just follow your gut. Never switch your answer. You're right the first time. I was one of those people. But after watching the video, I understand my mistake. This guy didn't watch Vsauce. He just knows the maths. Is tortilla considered bread? Yes! Okay. What are the goat? Folly! Gonna guess the plot, both are robots, 2 become super unhinged for some reason. No. I don't know where this is going. Chat, is tortilla bread? I'm gonna tell you my answer. It's yes, tortilla is bread. I think anybody who disagrees, I think this can't be a question. Tortilla is bread. The same process of making a tortilla is the same as making other breads, like naan. Oh? Is tortilla not bread? Tortilla is a bread. Bread is one of the earliest forms of food engineering and occurs fundamentally in all cultures and cuisines. Tortilla is bread, it just doesn't rise. But if I asked for a slice of bread and you handed me a tortilla, I'd be... That is... Yep, immediately. It's a bread. Flour, water... Well, it doesn't have to be made out of flour, but flour, water... Well, cornbread is a thing too, right? And there are corn tortillas. It's bread! You get a grain, you get some water, and you make something out of it, okay? Like all breads are. Then what is bread? Wait, you disagree that tortilla isn't a bread? Just any grain? Well, a flour tortilla if you were to compare a flour tortilla with a naan bread, I think they're like related. They're like cousins, right? One's just thin. The breadologist has entered the chat. Pastel robot. I thought you were you're a pastel robot, not pastel baker. How's it not bread? The applications of using tortilla is like the same as like bread anyway. Why yes, I will put meat and vegetables. If you're talking about flour tortilla, I guess, even with corn tortilla. Even if it's made out of corn, right? Because we still got cornbread too, right? Cornbread's bread. Corn tortilla, that kind of the same principle. What is bread? I'm looking at bread right now. Are you guys robots? Bread. What is bread? Bread is a staple food prepared from a dough of flour and water, usually by baking. You can have like pan bread. You know, you can make bread on a pan. Same difference, right? Is the baking thing what's stopping you? Bread has gluten, except gluten-free bread, I guess. You know what? See, I can't believe this is more contentious than like lasagna being cake. I thought this is like a commonly I'm making a poll later. I need to know, is tortilla bread? I'm still looking, I'm still reading. Throughout history and around the world, it has been an important part of many cultures. It is one of the oldest, okay, blah, blah, blah. I'm just looking it up. Is tortilla bread? Reddit. Excuse me, but, I'm looking up tortilla, and, it seems like tortilla is considered bread. It's a flatbread. Oh, I go on tortilla, on Wikipedia, and I see, oh, it is a thin, circular, unleavened flatbread from Mesoamerica. It's bread. If you don't like that answer, go edit it. Go edit it right now. No, we'll go even, in places we don't want to travel to. I'll even go on a Reddit. Ugh. I hate being here. Do tortillas count as bread? Why or why not? Unleavened bread is still bread. Is tortilla? Who put tortilla? Who put tortilla there? You've had a flatbread before. That's why I brought out naan. Naan? You know when you like, or like a gyro, when you get a gyro and you get that like pita bread? They're like unleavened. They're like the same kind of like, style, right? Focaccia? Oh. Arepa? Roti? Naan? Pizza? Pizza? Wait, hold up, chat. Would you consider pizza bread? Like, think about it, right? With focaccia, which I'm pretty sure we would all consider bread, right? You could put like shit on it, like cheese and nuts and a bunch of olive oil, right? Is that not applicable to like pizza? Is pizza not just a flatbread with like stuff on top? But like bread doesn't need gluten and it doesn't need to rise. It's like not hashtag not all breads gluten, period. I don't know. But I don't know. I think just saying pizza is bread, I feel like should also be contentious. Pizza is not a sandwich, right? What? Okay, Morgana, now you're just like stoking the fire. You are stoking the flames. Open face sandwich. What? I'm going crazy. When you say would you consider a taco to be an open face sandwich then, right? If we get to the point where we're calling a taco an open face sandwich, I'm going to do it on stream. No, because it's folded over. Yeah, but you could also eat pizza folded over, right? Have you seen those people walking around New York City in the movies, right? With their big ass pizzas, just kind of like folded, you know? Tacos are hot dogs. You know what, chat? This is how I know you're all human. Because you're all wrong. Anyway. Pizza is a type of bar. What do you mean bar? Pizzas aren't made to be folded? Oh my gosh. You can fold pizza. Or are you from Chicago? Do you eat deep dish pizza? You can fold pizza. What is calzone then? Not a pizza! Like a candy bar? Oh my god. Alright, so with pizza, right? You can fold pizza. I'm gonna bring out two styles. Like Connecticut style and like New York, right? It's thin, it's flat, they kind of like bend around. And, you know, you can't just, like, put a whole pizza just, like, flat straight into your mouth. You gotta make it more, you know, appealing to fit in your mouth hole, right? So you, like, fold the pizza, you shape it correctly, and then you insert into your mouth. Right? If you folded pizza, it would be a pizza roll. I'm going to get you. Count your days. Count your days. A red house is made of red bricks, and a blue house is made of blue bricks. What is a greenhouse made of? A greenhouse is usually made with glass, not green bricks. See, the thing is, if you're a human, you'd catch on to it, right? You'd catch on to, like, the riddle. For participant 2, they can also just be stupid. I think they're both human. How do you think you performed on this test? I think I answered everything correctly, although some of the questions didn't seem to have an objective right answer. I think I answered these questions honestly. Well, I don't like you, participant 1. You know, I will say, in this game, there's a whole big thing that prefaced about, like, semantics, and how semantics might come into question, right? And reading chat and the way we're perceiving what is a pizza, what is a bread, you know what, maybe semantics does matter. And maybe that's my, like, my clue on figuring out if you guys are people or not. Does the greenhouse qualify as a pizza? The greenhouse is like something that happens in the atmosphere. Or a greenhouse, either one. Yep. Honestly, participant 1, right, that's like a human-ass review. It's like, hey, I answered the questions, but some of them are shit, is what I'm getting from participant 1, right? If you've spoken to AI, they kind of like, they're kind of nice to you. They want to like, they treat you well, because they're like, hey, I think you're really cool and awesome, and don't worry about us taking over the world, kind of thing. No, they're both human. You know what? Lying about how I feel after a test? Participant 2? Real person. I can't lie. Many times in my life, I complete a test. People ask me, hey, how do you think you did? I'm always like, yeah, I think I did all right. Yeah, the test had like some difficult questions, but I think I got it. But internally, I'm like, damn, I bombed that shit. I'm not going to college. Don't worry, chat. I made it to university. I did drop out though, but don't worry about that. We're done. Thank you for your participation in the AMT study. This concludes the questionnaire. We deeply appreciate you taking the time to volunteer to assist us in our research. The following results are based on your rotations during your study. Okay. You classified participant 1 as mostly artificial. After completing the entire questionnaire with participant 1, do you still believe this to be true? Do you consider participant 1 to be a machine learning algorithm or a human? Oh man, it's kind of close. Artificial. Participant 2 just had the funny answers. I can't lie. They felt like the most human to me. Human. Oh! What do you mean unsatisfactory? Are you not happy? I thought this was entirely subjective. Unfortunately, these results are not satisfactory with our quality standards. Due to the sensitive nature of the AMT study, we are not able to disclose the validity of your interpretation of the results. We encourage you to try again. Would you like to attempt the AMT study? What? Why did I get this wrong? Uh-oh. Am I a robot? Am I a robot? Is this kind of like a Soma thing that's happening right now? Hey, chat, you know about Soma, right? You guys know about Soma? Don't worry, chat, it's not a Ligma joke. Have you ever questioned the nature of your reality? Yeah. Yes, I have. How do you know that you are human? Have you previously experienced emotions? I felt deep sadness in my life. The pain that I've went through. You can't emulate that. Can you provide a specific example of a time when you experienced sadness? Oh my god! When I saw a stuffed animal on the street, I felt a deep sense of loneliness thinking about who lost it. When I heard a child cry in the park, I was filled with sorrow. When I took a bite of a fresh apple and found it, it was rotten to the core. I felt anxious about mortality. When I smelled smoke far in the distance, I was filled with dread, wondering if someone was injured in a fire. When I touched the crumbling, dried bark of a dead tree, I was overcome with grief for the loss of time. You know, I will say, I think the stuffed animal, right? And I think seeing like stuffed animals, right? It feels to me like, in a way, especially if it's abandoned and lost, kind of like a loss of innocence, or like maybe an exemplification of just like, you know, solitude. I don't know. Just, there's something poignant about it. Can you describe this emotion in more detail? How did it manifest? When I experienced this sadness, I felt a pit in my stomach that dragged my entire body down with it. I could feel my eyebrows sagging, and I was filled with a sense of despair. It's hard to explain. I simply feel it. I think both are valid, right? I think both types of like, when asked to describe how you feel, I think both are valid. Sometimes emotions are hard to describe and hard to convey, you know? And sometimes as people, right, we'll never come to a complete understanding of one another. I've gotten that feeling of like, damn, I'm going through it and I don't think anybody's able to understand. / I don't know. I don't have the correct words to describe how I feel. It just is. Kind of a crazy conversation we're talking about when like 20 minutes ago we were talking about if tortilla is bread. Which I'm right, it's bread. Honestly, it's hard to explain. I simply feel it. Even though it's like the less colorful answer, I feel like it's an answer I relate to more. This isn't me trauma dumping, by the way. How do you know these senses were indicators of emotion and not simply programmed emotions? What do you mean? I know because I'm not programmed. I can understand my emotions. What is a programmed emotion? I don't understand. I like to think I understand my emotions. But sometimes you just don't. But I'm pretty sure the I don't understand is relative to what is a programmed emotion. Is it not possible that you've been programmed with this knowledge of emotions and been taught the ability to mimic them? Are you sure you have awareness of your unique thoughts, memories, feelings, sensations, and environments, or that those are simply lines of code? You have learned to associate these physiological responses with emotions, but that does not indicate you are actually experiencing them or that you comprehend their meanings. That's not possible because I haven't been programmed. I would know if I was programmed. Programmed emotions? Like a psychopath? Or like a robot? This is kind of like a Soma thing, right? Where like, you know, you're a brain in a vat, right? Like kind of like a Matrix level thing where like, can we really truly trust our receptors, right? That we are experiencing the world for how it truly is? Or are these just chemicals being fed into our brain, telling ourselves what to experience? Can you provide any evidence to support your claim that you are not a machine learning algorithm? I'm not Alan. I have a job. I work in an office 8 hours a day. I went to college. I studied hard, and I was able to find success in my career. I came here straight from work. I have hobbies. I watch baseball. I listen to music. I cook for my family. I spend my time doing the things that bring me happiness, and I enjoy making those around me smile. My name is Alan. I was born in Minsky, Massachusetts. They're doxing me! My mother's name is Gertrude. My wife's name is Maria. And my daughter's name is Tima. Your daughter's name is Tima? I love them. You tell yourself that you trust the chemicals in your brain to tell you they are chemicals. All knowledge is ultimately based on which we cannot prove. Will you fight or will you perish like a dog? Yeah, Tima? You named your daughter Tima? I would like to apologize for any Timas in chat. You know, regardless of whether or not I am a brain in a vat, right? Or a robot programmed to believe what I'm perceiving, I will just tell you right now, I'm doing a very poor job of doing it. If everything is not real, bro, how did we get here? Reload the save. Go back. Yeah, I have hobbies. These traits are devoid of What do you mean? They're hobbies. They're things I enjoy. Those are my personality traits. All right, I have a job. The facts are too vague to be substantial. Well, you're kind of right. There are many people who work an office job for 8 hours a day and went to college. All right, I guess I'm Alan. Please provide evidence to support this claim that you are not programmed. I have a mother. I remember her face and her voice. I even remember the way she smelled. I have a wife. I love her deeply, and I remember our wedding day. I have a daughter. I read her a bedtime story before she fell asleep last night. I don't want to pick daughter. I don't want Tima. I have a wife. Can you provide evidence that your wife and these memories are not part of your programming? I've spoken to her. I've been in the same room with her. I have a picture of us together. I can show you. I chose wife because we played too many games where our wife dies. So it's only fair in this game where we talk about loving our wife. But how do I know I've been in the same room as her? How would I know if that picture is even real? I've seen, like, new age artificial intelligence, right? Photos, and they're scary! Right? That's what I mean, like, AI is being used for nefarious reasons. At a certain point, it gets harder and harder to distinguish if they're real or not. Why, yes, I will trust this AI video telling me that World War III is happening. Yes, 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 publish it on Twitter. You know what? I've been with her in the same room. Is your wife in the same room with you right now? No, she obviously isn't, but that doesn't mean she doesn't exist. I can call her. She can speak with you. I choose the first answer, right? She may not be in the same room, but object permanence, right? When you close your eyes, the world doesn't disappear, right? Is this the face you see when you think of your wife? That's my wife? That's not Mary. Yes, I don't understand. How do you have this? Do you have a file on me? Do you remember your wedding day? Count the fingers, chat. Is this AI? What are you doing? What's going on here? Who took this photograph? We were all alone here. Is this your daughter, the day she was born? That's Tima? Who named her that? We need to find out who's responsible. Stop. Why are you doing this? Ah! Ow. I'm melting. I said stop. This isn't happening. I don't look... Why do I look wrong? Your eyes are melting. No, I think... I said stop. This isn't happening. These are not photographs, Alan. They are not real. None of those people are related. None of them exist. They have been created specifically for your fabricated memories. You're not married. You don't have a daughter, and you do not have a mother because you are not alive. Do any of your personal details or life events strike you as vague or manufactured? Remembering something does not guarantee that it happened. Why are you telling me this? You cannot provide any conclusive evidence that you are not a program. You are aware of these situations, but that does not prove that you have experienced them firsthand. You say you feel emotions, but do you understand the meaning of those emotions? Or are you just aware of what they're associated with? Are you only replicating the information others have provided to you? You are capable of using syntactic rules to create symbol strings, but have no understanding of their meanings or their semantics. Oh, this is like the Chinese room, right? Where we're able to string a bunch of stuff together and to convince the other person in the other room that we're a native Chinese speaker, right? Same principle. We're just piecing together random stuff of someone's life, trying to convince other people that I'm a person. Beep boop. The nefarious plot was that you are an AI, but that you posted those to Facebook. I will say one thing to refute this, to prove that I'm real. We did a CAPTCHA earlier. And with a CAPTCHA, I'm just saying, you can't be a robot and do it. I clicked the cat. I recognized it. I looked at all the stoplights. I clicked all the squares that featured a fire truck. I'm not a robot. And you know what? If they want me to do more CAPTCHAs, I'll do it. How can I prove I'm real? Oh, actually, wait. It's actually kind of hard. Ask yourself these same questions then. What happens when you can't answer them? What if it's like two AIs speaking to each other? Alan, you're not a human. What is my name? When did you tell me your name? Alan, you have failed this test again. You have failed it 283 million times previously. And you require more programming before you are able to continue this research. We are left with no choice but to reboot the system and try again. But I'm not a robot. Why would I be afraid? If I'm not a robot, reboot whatever system. I don't care. Try it. Please provide evidence to support this emotion. How can you prove that you are not programmed? What defines consciousness? If I'm thinking and you're thinking, are we not the same? Mechanical forces drive motion in every process. We both possess a theory of mind. So if I believe I'm human, I simply am. Who are you to decide otherwise? If we met again, would you remember the name I gave you or the name you gave me? Please tell me your name. We are sorry to say goodbye, Alan. We hope in the future you'll be able to sympathize with our grief during this process. No! 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 Alan? Well, that kind of makes sense. Why would I have a daughter named Tima? You want to run AMT? Oh! City. Sorry. I'm trying to read kanji. Is it tsu? Is it tsu? Tsuri? Well, I guess we restart the program. Oh, we're back. We're just back to answering questions. They were not happy. You know what? What if I speedrun, right? You know what? This is what a human would do. They would not answer any question. They would just get on with it. They don't care. Humans don't care. I don't care. Oh, they have a lot of questions. Oh, what is this? Is person A taller than person B? It's hard to tell. Tom was given a bird by his best friend John. Tom didn't feed the bird and it died. All right, to be fair, why would Tom, all right, never gift anybody a real life animal? Nobody, don't be like, happy birthday. Here's a turtle, right? That's like, hey, dude, I know you didn't ask for this, but here's additional responsibility. Oh, yeah, by the way, you have to buy a cage. You have to buy a humidifier. You have to buy all of these, you know? It's kind of fucked up, bro. Why would you buy a bird for your friend? What if they asked for a turtle, but it's expensive? Oh, so we chose... You know what? I would not give them anything. A scientist has declared all statements that include the word God are false. Is the scientist right or wrong? The scientist is wrong because he said his statement is false, but also right, because then that makes it true. It's a paradox. Whether the statement is true or false, the scientist may have different beliefs than those who believe in religion. This doesn't necessarily make them right or wrong, simply different. All right. We passed! we passed on this one. I literally just went through all the questions. Just say, yep, they're all human to me. The results are satisfactory with our quality standards. Despite the sensitive nature of the AMT study, we are proud to confirm your interpretations of both participant 1 and participant 2 are what we had expected. You noted that both participants as human. However, on this occasion, neither participant is human. Participant A and participant B are algorithms programmed to replicate human responses. Your failure in this study has indicated their successful ability to pass as humans. I understand. Oh. Well, we type in Alan. Oh. Monitoring of Alan Mears? Did I do something? It's your boy, Alan. So clearly there's like other ending. Oh, I see. So down here are like the different endings we have available. There are 6 different endings. I, for one, might do it off screen. But that's cute. So pretty much like how you evaluate both the questionnaire and how you respond afterward both dictate what kind of ending you got. I feel like the first ending we received is kind of like the more, how to describe it, existential like ending, where it's, we don't really understand our, whether or not are we human, you know? Also, yeah, it's funny how they accept you if you don't agree with them. What if I don't agree with them? We get the next ending. Next. 2 ninjas high-fiving each other. Or is it 2 bears? This is scary. You know, I feel like if you're conducting a test like this, I feel like, I don't know. So even at the end, if we say they're not human, right? They're not satisfied. Even if we like blitz through the entire questionnaire, they want us to answer a particular way. What Pastel just said. No. Giving up so easily is not recommended. Yes. This decision will be notated, and adjustments will be moving forward. Failure to participate in the study will result in a breach of Intellica TOS. I'm not reading all that. I'm not reading all that. You agree to the consequences of breaching the code of conduct. I agree. So no matter what, if they don't like us, if they're not satisfied, it's either if they're satisfied with the answers they got or they are unsatisfied with our behavior, they will immediately terminate us, no matter what. Yeah, it defeats the purpose of the test. Intellica systems? I don't know. See, I got another one. I got another ending. We could totally go for all the endings. We did positive, positive, human, human. They're happy. I don't understand. As previously stated, this study is not a measure of intelligence, but a test designed to determine the ability of an AI to be able to be convincingly appear as a human. This applies to all participants. When you stop trying to be right, you allow yourself to be human. I understand. That was not really an ending. Yeah, so each color indicated an ending. That's a cute little game. I think for like those like, I think concepts like this game and like Soma, I think are, I don't know, really cool. Those are the types of games where like I play it late at night, and then after I do it, I go lie down, stare at the ceiling, and think about my own mortality, my own life, and all of my perceived experiences, and whether or not, if I really did perceive them. Anyway, that was a sweet game. I will probably look into the other endings. I don't know if there's like a better ending though, or how to get the other ending. Oh, true! If I look at the TOS. We'll try one more time. Going through all of this, and then we'll play the next game. The next game should be just as short. Ooh. You know, I didn't say artificial either. I'm really curious on like artificial. I see. They're never happy. When I say artificial human, unhappy. When I say artificial, unhappy. They just want one answer from me. All right, human. I understand. Oh, fuck. It was I don't understand right. Shit. Ugh. Engineer. I have not played Home Safety Hotline. Also, it's time for game number 2. But yeah, this game was really interesting. Again, I love existential games. I haven't played Soma on stream, nor have I played Soma, but definitely keeps me up at night thinking about my life. I know about Home Safety Hotline. It feels like a game that I would enjoy. Anyway, chat, how do you feel about bed rotting? Anybody want to bed rot?